we are a boutique real estate developer in Dubai. You can see the model at the back. That's the beautiful building we are currently working on. That's our first project. We actually did a thorough search for a partner who can implement a nice and efficient system, an ERP system. And we came to know about BrainStation, and it wasn't just about implementing the technology. What I feel is the thing which stood out was the willingness to understand the business instead of just implementing the technology. So that made us choose BrainStation, and that's how we started working with BrainStation. Honestly, no, we haven't used any ERP before Odoo. Odoo is the first we have onboarded, and before that, we were actually using different Excel sheets across different platforms. Some people were using Google Sheets, while others were using a desktop version of Microsoft Excel. So it was like information was living in too many places. Concerns were actually, what I think is ERP systems are not like plug and play, right? You need to build a lot around the core or around the base. So with that degree of uncertainty, we were not really sure that the system will reflect our actual business processes, or they'll align with our requirements, rather than forcing us to work on a rigid framework that some things are default and we cannot change that. So those were the concerns. It has been absolutely collaborative and very professional. It felt less like a vendor engagement, but it was more like a team working towards the common goal. So the team was always available. They made sure that someone is there for us to support us in the time of need, and that collaboration was very commendable. Like a project with this big scale, there are bumps in the road, I can say. So, but all I can say to conclude is that all the concerns or all the difficulties were very constructively handled by BrainStation, and in the end, the team was very focused on the goal. Just one word for the communication: it was transparent. It was consistent, it was transparent, and everything was communicated to us in a timely manner. So it was not like something we missed out on, or something which wasn't communicated and we kept waiting. So transparency is the key when we talk about communication. So yes, it was pretty transparent and very consistent. Yeah, so as I said, as you also mentioned, that information was scattered. Now we have a single source of truth for all the operations, all the contacts, our customers, their information, their payments, finances, accounting, and everything. So overall, I would say visibility is the thing which was improved the most, and all the information is now very easier to access for all the teams across different departments. Especially for the management, when we talk about reporting, it became more reliable, and now teams are able to work with greater confidence. Yeah, definitely. So I got feedback from most of my teams, I would say, and then it was very simple. They were just like, we are less chasing the information now, and we are more getting things done. So they are appreciating, the information which is readily available. The automations we have incorporated in the system has helped especially our operations and accounting teams a lot. And overall productivity has improved and increased. End moment hassle has gone. So now they are able to get things done at a very few clicks without even typing. So that's how the system has really helped the team. BrainStation approaches the project not as a vendor but as a partner, so it's more of a partnership. When we talk about the technology, it's just one piece of puzzle, I would say, because the main thing is having a team that understands your business and your process. Once that is transparent, then it becomes really easy to collaborate and achieve the goal. Without any hesitation, yes, because like when I said it's about a partnership, so good partners are hard to find, and we have already built a very strong relationship with BrainStation. So they know our business in detail now. We know their abilities, their working style, and it really aligns with us, with our goals. I would say, yeah, some things surprised me in a very good way, in a very constructive way. I'd say the level of commitment and their willingness to stay engaged with us, very collaborative and supportive. And I'd say they were just not checking boxes, just to finish the scope off, but they were very invested in the overall outcome of the project. So even when some of the requirements were evolving or getting changed in the end moment, BrainStation team remained very focused and engaged, and they're basically their focus was on delivering the right outcome rather than simply delivering the scope.